Rick Fox ending the game hunched over his former teammate Lindsey Hunter and congratulating him as the clock ticks down. And the Detroit Pistons, wow, who won the NBA championship in '89 and '90, have just shocked the Los Angeles Lakers. 100-87 to win the NBA title.
It's been a while since the NBA world has seen Detroit as one of the premier teams in the league. Since the 04-05 season, the Pistons have never made it back to the finals.
With another offensive rebound. The Cleveland Cavaliers in a starter have knocked off the Detroit Pistons, and they are headed to the NBA Finals to face the San Antonio Spurs.
Long time. The Celtics going back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1987. What a great victory for the Celtics. They win the Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games, and now it's on to face the Lakers.
And since the 07-08 season, Detroit has never won a playoff game.
Pistons done. And the first to the second. First team to the second round. LeBron and the Cavs, they sweep Detroit in 4. 2-1. Jackson, the 3 shot. Game over. Cavaliers win. They sweep the Detroit Pistons.
All right, a sizable win for the Bucks again. They sweep Detroit, getting their first playoff series win in 18.
It's been a long 12 years of mediocrity and losing for Detroit, a city that in many ways mirrors its team, with its own troubles in trying to stay afloat and relevant, struggling to live up to their triumphant days of the past.
This is the city of Detroit in the state of Michigan. The know-how is here and the waterways for the vast loads of raw materials. Blacksmiths, marine engine and carriage builders easily switched over to car building. Then, when they figured out a system of fabricating the parts and putting cars together on a moving conveyor, it set the pattern for mass production. The mass production of all kinds of wonderful products. It fired the starting gun for today and the greater days that lie ahead. For Detroit has always moved forward on faith, building and rebuilding, shaping its own destiny with the imagination and abilities of its people. This is the way it is with the city of Detroit, the city that changed the transportation of man around the world, the city that grew up on the straight. The old gives way to the new, yet all that is good is cherished and contributes to the dream of the future. For Detroit, the city of contrasts, looks toward tomorrow, confident that its great goals will be gained through the vision, cooperation, and energy of all its people.
That was the home of the US motor industry and the Motown music phenomenon. Detroit emerged from World War II as one of America's great industrial powerhouses with a population of almost 2 million. But since the 1970s, it's been in decline, and last night it became the biggest US city so far to file for bankruptcy.
This was once the industrial powerhouse, the city that gave birth not just to Motown music, but of course also the iconic car companies. And what seems to have happened, especially in recent years, is that the weight of its debt, especially because of pensions liabilities and healthcare liabilities for the many city workers, plus everything else that you need to run a city, has simply crushed Detroit. And last night, late last night, it declared bankruptcy. At a time when this country thought it was recovering, this really is a bit of a blow to its self-esteem.
And you'll discover a city that's been sinking into its own grave for decades. Today they issued the death certificate by filing for bankruptcy. Detroit had accumulated $20 billion in debt, roughly the same as Cyprus. the population is barely a third of what it was in its heyday. Of those, 25% are now unemployed. Result, a shriveled tax base for too many running costs. Much of the city is a deserted wasteland. Power lines are sagging without juice in a place where only half the street lights work. The city is returning to a pre-industrial era of fields and unkempt vegetation, but less bucolic. The crime rate is at a record high.
Cade Cunningham was born on September 25, 2001 in Arlington, Texas. Cunningham began high school at Bowie High School in his hometown of Arlington before transferring to Monteverde's Academy in Florida, where he was rated a consensus 5-star recruit and among the top players in the 2021 class by major recruiting services. As a senior, he led one of the best high school teams in history and received National Player of the Year recognition. From there, Cade Cunningham committed to Oklahoma State, the alma mater of NBA players like Marcus Smart, John Starks, and Tony Allen. Cade destroyed the college scene with his 6'7" frame combined with his point guard abilities allowed him to be a matchup nightmare for teams across the country. At the end of the season, Cunningham was recognized as a consensus first-team All-American, along with winning the Big 12 Player of the Year and Big 12 Freshman of the Year in the same season. And of course, with all this noise, he was at the forefront of all NBA scouts and GMs in the league. After all these years of losing, Detroit finally has a chance to pull themselves out of the mud and bring their franchise and their city back to glory.
With the first pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State University.
Big hug from his mom, Carrie. The love from his dad, Keith. You got the Motor City and you got Cade Cunningham. It's the motorcade rolling in.
Cade Cunningham, the #1 pick of this stacked 2021 draft, and the player who has drawn comparisons to Luka Doncic, Grant Hill, and LeBron James, is a great start for the Pistons. And that's exactly what this team needs. What the city of Detroit needs. A fearless leader who will reclaim the throne at the top. This is why I believe Cade Cunningham is Detroit's chosen one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy quality basketball content like podcasts, film breakdowns, and live reactions on game days, Basketball Zone provides frontline coverage of the NBA every single day. I'll see you guys on the next video.